Shake the disco, rock the disco, shake the disco today. Cruising by, singing for some merry day. So this is Martin's update. Currently writing a book for Kim Jong-un. Currently writing a book for President Putin. So I have sent Malcolm Turnbull an email. Didn't receive anything back. Have written Donald Trump an email. Haven't received anything back. So I'm putting it out there, people. Unless an intelligence agency from Australia or the CIA, which I got in contact with, but haven't had a reply. Now they've stopped me from sending them anymore. So basically, unless an intelligence agency like ACES say, Martin, okay, we'll employ it. I'm actually thinking of going to Russia or North Korea for an 18-month stint. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but sort of for 18 months on an 18-part contract. So why 18-part is because I want it reviewed and based on my performance. So starting rate of $5,000 a month. So I started on $5,000 a month. They could pull me in and go, Martin, you know, you haven't been any good to us. We're sending you back home. And that would be, fuck! Lord, I've told everyone I'm working for these people and can't even, I'm gonna have to put my head down because I've been sent back home early. Or it could be, we're gonna give you 20 grand for this month. In 6 months, it could be grand. Say, we're gonna give you 200 grand for this month. And basically, I'm sick of my life being at jeopardy due to druggy fuckwits down here saying they're going to put me in a boot. I want a life change. I want to add to my resume. I've for Australia in, say, ACES or some form, and that I'll sign a contract with both parties as it's open for both players, that there has to be confidential top secret information that I cannot pass on. And if I was to go forward with ACES, I'd say, hey, don't you try and probe into asking what I have for dinner or whatever if it was top secret. So I'm Australian, true blue Aussie, born in Scotland. I want to help out. Basically, I've been talking in this book to Putin that I want to create a world currency. I won't mention everything that's in it, but I also want to talk about how we can have a global trade in services and a product that's not just global, but universal. So when we make contact with the ETs, we're going to us, we don't want money, we want minerals, resources, and like elements, so metals and precious metals. And what we're going to do from these elements, these minerals that we're getting, we are going to use the ones not from Earth as a part of our global currency. And basically it's not going to be able to be no one on Earth is going to be able to make these products because they're not going to have the element. But inside the coin is basically going to have a chip that it reads its authenticity of what it is to the shops. Anything that doesn't match has to be sent back to the bank to be analysed to see if the mineral is exactly as what it is or someone's trying to rip us off. So we're going to create a world currency, and I'm wanting Putin to help. Trump, don't worry, I'm still wanting to work for you, but seriously, I don't have much patience, and I'm sick of getting death threats and messages from dickheads and finding out where I live. And I just want to go over somewhere, work for someone, work my ass off, and basically come back home, adding to my resume. So yeah, we won't go too much into it. But I said that I eventually want to work with Trump. But unless Trump says, hey, but how I'm seeing it is there's a lot of people around the world that have got respect for me. And basically, I've got respect for Kim, I've got respect for Russia and Putin. So I'm just thinking, if I were wanting to originally work for Trump, but he hasn't said anything yet about me being able to work for him, I may as well work for Russia under Putin or Kim under North Korea, because at the end of the day, I'm still in alliance with Trump. I'm still in alliance. I'm an ally, obviously, to my own country, Australia, to the United Kingdom, Britain. From Europe, I want to help Europe. I think I'd be a good asset to say that Martin's working with us. Don't give us any shit or give him any shit saying his life's at risk. He's actually going to help us out. So basically, all I want to do is to form businesses in either country. To be able to, for Kim, I'm asking for a bit of land, only like 4 square kilometers, 4x4 square kilometers, to have my own country. I will basically give 30% profit of the tax that I make through there to North Korea. And I'm going to be investing a lot in North Korea and signing a contract with Kim that if he believes that I've done him wrong or shared information that has jeopardized or that he wouldn't want people to know, he can take all my assets and everything back for himself. So I'm a no bullshit person. I don't give anyone bullshit. And basically, there has to, say if there was a day, the morning is non-top secret. We have breakfast, we have a chat. Certain times of the day is total top secret. I'm not going to give away that information. And if an intelligence agency said, no, if you work for us, you've got to tell us everything that goes on. I'm like, well, I'm not signing up to you then. I've got respect for these people just like you. Do you think is a good character and good characteristic of myself as a human being, of loyalty and respect, to say that, okay, what about if I came to you first and then went over to them and told them top secret? But it has to be more stuff that I can share that's not top secret. Okay, but we're going up against fake news companies. We're going up against IMCs. We're going against fucking pedophile elite. And Trump, people don't tell Trump what to do. They give information that he goes about it his way. But if there's 2 people in the world that get, I think Kim Jong-un would get the most non-biased information. And I think with him letting those people go in intelligence or national security is because they were telling him stuff that he didn't want to do. So you've got to go with your heart. So my plan is I want to be able to raise up $500 billion or have people to invest or loan me the money so I could buy Tasmania. So I'm going to buy it, call it Martania. I'm going to start the tax bracket at 100 grand, so you're actually tax-free unless you make over 100 grand. And the profit that I make, say 30% of it, will go to Australia. I'm actually going to form IMCs in the middle of Tasmania and around. So I'll start a Russian joint Martin IMC. I'll have a American USA joint IMC. I'll have a Chinese joint IMC. I'll have a Japanese joint IMC. I'll even, because I was born in Scotland, have a Scottish IMC. I'll go around to all the countries and say, hey, I'm going to let you have the land for free, but it's joint, and the facility is to be top secret. But all the IMCs are to start a think tank and then a one body tank that incorporates us all together. So we're standalone, we're all top secret, but we're talking best friends. We are to secure the security of the world, as well as Australia and its allies, as well as Mauritania. We are to do it with as little force as possible. We are to be about soft power and persuasion, of looking at the true aspects of what can happen and outlining the possible bad things that could happen if people were put in a position of doing something they wouldn't normally do under fear, anxiety, paranoia, or hatred. And we're to create the strongest fucking mothership there is. We're going to help on global poverty. Like every other snoozer that's got money, they're investing in Africa, because they know that they're going to get a position to probably be a dictator, hopefully be a dictator later on down the track by owning a country in Africa. So I reckon if I was to pay Australia $500 billion for Tasmania, and told everyone that's living in Tassie that everyone under 100 grand doesn't have to pay tax, but eventually I'll make them. So, yeah, I plan to have the strongest IMCs in the world, but just because I've got a Russian IMC doesn't mean I want to have access to the Russian IMC information back in Russia. I'm not about weaseling my way into knowing about that. I'd rather it stay for their own. Personally, I don't want to know everything when it comes to what Kim could tell me, or Trump could tell me, or Putin, or anyone. Some stuff is better unsaid. But if you were around in my presence and we were talking and we got on and we shared a heart connection of respect through consciousness, you could just say in your mind with intent and ask me a question, and I could bust out a song, I'd say it and I'll give you the answers, but I didn't actually know what you asked. So I think 500 billion would be sort of a fair price to buy Tasmania. I don't know what Australia would do with it. I'd probably say that you can have access to 250 billion to start with, and 250 under me saying, okay, come to me and just ask for the money, and you tell me what you propose me to say. You guys are just going to fucking waste that money. Go back to the drawing board. I'm not going to blow it all on all you dickhead politicians out there doing a shit job wanting to give yourself a pay increase. So that's how it is. And I'm starting to get anxiety. So, and at the end of the day, I could deal with a simple life anyway. It doesn't have to be too crazy. Over and out.